Meanwhile, at the Hall of Cage.
Well, I'm one of those fortunate people who like my job, sir. Got my first chemistry set when I was 7, blew my eyebrows off. We never saw the cat again. Been into it ever since.
I did a bare 360 triple backflip in front of 22,000 people. It's kind of funny. It's on YouTube. Check it out.
Oh my God, a gun!
Somehow they managed to get every creeping freak in the universe in this one plane.
Coffee and a muffin. Okay, so I need to establish themes. Maybe banana nut. That's a good muffin.
So just quiet down, my little one, and call me Dad.
We get some balloons and go to the puppet show.
Sorry, boss, but there's only 2 men I trust. One of them's me, and the other's not you.
Good Lord.
You were recording, right?
I think I caught like the tail end of that burp.
I just want it just a monicum of that burp to be in the audio. I would be pleased.
I know what you're talking about.
Congratulations, Pat.
That was impressive. that was deep and guttural.
It's like we have a scale system. We have points, a ranking system, much like AEW. For our burps.
Listen, you have my word as a gentleman and as a lady. I would never expel gas on a recorded podcast.
That's a damn dirty lie. Is what that is.
I totally know I have on several occasions.
Kablam.
Yeah, I'm expelling gas right now.
Jimmy just pooped. Did you really just fart?
No, I didn't fart.
There'd probably be like a circular hole missing at the back of the chair.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Caging Greatness, the show where we discuss the films of Nicolas Cage roughly 50% of the time. And tonight, we are going to be discussing a film of Nicolas Cage. We thought it might be nice to change things.
Wow, after 3 weeks, one of which we were off and 2 weeks for something completely unrelated.
That's right. It's crazy, right?
This is how it works sometimes.
Our percentage has gone down a bit, but we're here. We're going to pump those numbers up.
Ever in flux.
Right before we do something completely different next week, too. But for tonight...
all of you holding on to a prayer and a wing for more Cage content. Listen, if we just did Cage every week, we'd be running out of stuff more quicker than you realize.
Yeah, we'd have been close to done by now, I should think.
Like, he makes a lot of movies. He don't make that many movies.
Yeah, no, he's not like got weekly releases or some such.
And
like
we make a lot of shows.
We'd be down to like seasonal episodes. Like, we'll see you next spring.
This is the...
it would just be a special episode.
This is the Arbor Day episode where we talk about Joe.
Caging Greatness special report.
I heard that movie's actually pretty good.
It is actually very good.
I'm actually interested in that one. I'm interested in all of them,
Yeah.
But
do you know what wasn't terribly good?
Thor: Love and Thunder? Oh, wait. Oh, we're not.
Welcome to week 2 of the Love and Thunder shitcast. Turns out, not super amazing.
I like it less and less the more I think about it. I did watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, though, finally, and it's just as good as everybody says, so go check that out.
I'm glad.
That one did live up to the hype.
Tonight, we watched National Treasure 2, Book of
Shadows.
Shenanigans.
Yes, Blair Witch 2, Book of Secrets.
We watched National Treasure 2. And
you know what? I was pretty lost in the woods for this movie.
Yeah, I wanted to like this a hell of a lot more than I did. Anyway, let's do that thing where we go around and talk about our ratings. Can the Man, what'd you think?
I'm just going to go out and say it. Not much has changed. I've seen this movie maybe twice before this viewing and saw it in theaters. Enjoyed the first movie. Pretty fun time. I hate to say it. This is somewhat the opposite of that. And we are going to get into it. I am... Honestly, man... I'm rumbling around with that star system in my brain right now.
It just sounds like loose change.
I feel like, honestly, man, out of 5 is a good place to drop.
I mean, I am around the 1.5 territory.
Oh.
I don't enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
Like, at all, really. That's just me.
Pat, you're over there playing with fire. What'd you think?
Yeah.
Straight fire over here on Cage and Greatness.
Straight shooting with fire? What?
Pew, pew.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna take this little electric matchstick and hold it up to a historical document and just see if there's some invisible writing on it.
Why not?
Oh, great. The Declaration of Independence is on fire now for the third time.
I mean, you know what? We got backups, and it's not like the goddamn thing's legible anymore. All those goddamn tourist photos just blink the ink away.
It's a glare-proof glass that also deflects bullets.
Yep, ping, ping, ping.
Lasers.
Yeah, National Treasure 3, where for some reason in the far-flung future, there's like laser bolts bouncing off the adamantium shell that's built around the Declaration that somehow embedded into the back of just like the living warrior that has been charged to protect it. TM. Yeah, this is my first time watching National Treasure 2 Book of Spiders. And you know what? I kind of like it the same as their first one. It's just kind of like, it's a 3. Like, it is technically shorter than the first one, and even though it does feel longer, but it's kind of just like it was kind of more the same to me. So yeah, I'm at a 3.
It's fair.
Yeah.
I saw this movie once when it came out. I was half asleep. I couldn't have told you anything from that first watching. Honest to God, I can barely tell you anything from this watching, and I was wide ass awake. But yeah, National Treasure 2, Book of Shimmies. I'm not feeling it. I love the first one.
Yep.
Okay, I think it's really fun. I think it's got a certain charm to it that makes it almost timeless. It's almost like Pirates of the Caribbean, in that you wouldn't expect it to be as fun and engaging and as you wouldn't expect it to hold up as well as it does. Like, it's a surprise hit. It's like lightning in a bottle. And then you try to make another one, and it's just shit. It's not good. So just like Pirates of the Caribbean. I love the first one. This one, yeah, I gave it a 2.5. I think I'm going to lower it because it felt like a soulless retread of the first movie. Like there are car chases and I don't care, right? There's giant, huge set pieces with sparkling golden cities. I don't care. There's a villain played by Ed Harris. I don't care. Helen Mirren is there as Mama Cage. I don't care.
and somehow inexplicably an expert on ancient indigenous lore.
Mm-hmm. Cage and Diane Kruger aren't together anymore, and then they are together. I don't care. I just didn't care. This whole movie, I didn't care. I wanted to care. I tried to care. I did not care. So yeah, I'm adjusting this. I'm at a 1.5. I just didn't like this. And like, honest to God, I'm gonna need y'all's help remembering stuff because I got fucking nothing.
I mean, I'll try my best. I mean, like, I know, again, like, not to just regurgitate what Jim just said. I enjoy the first one. I just had to look it up, but I gave it like 3.5. I thought it was a fun enough time. Good old treasure romp. But the longer I watched this, like, I was just like, I'd rather be watching Uncharted at this point. Like, and I actually enjoyed Uncharted. It didn't like blow my ass away.
The movie Uncharted.
Yeah. But
Can't just watching the Let's Play on YouTube.
Like, things happen quickly in the first movie, but the few things that happened in this movie happened so quickly. Like, I feel like everybody spent their fortune that they made from the first movie on like methamphetamines, especially Cage, because he is just, I feel like his character is completely different from the first film in a lot of different aspects. Now, don't get me wrong; some of his scenes are great, like that stairwell scene. That staircase scene
Where
will
he's
always be
just
great.
screaming inside of Buckingham Palace.
Yeah, he's told to make a distraction. He goes full nuclear Cage. That was good.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm gonna turn I'm gonna turn his domestic dispute into a domestic disturbance. Because him and Diane Kruger are just like hollering at each other. I'm surprised they're. Well, I guess after a certain point in this movie, every single named character is now on America's Most Wanted. They're domestic terrorists, international terrorists. Honestly,
I mean, they ought to be. Absolutely. And like to your point, Ken, in the first movie they went from like Boston to DC to Philly, and that felt like more traveling in that movie than them going from Paris to London back to America to Washington to kidnap the president to wherever they ended up, like in the Mount Rushmore. That felt like more traveling in the first movie than anything in this movie.
Yeah.
It felt like they just popped up. Like, oh, well, I'll be in London. Oh, here I am in London.
I guess because they have umpteen $1 million from finding the first pile of ancient gold, and now there's another equally important ancient pile of gold, and like it's somehow connected to Nicolas Cage's great grandfather's bullshit. I don't know. That whole bit of like I had to clear my grandfather's name. It felt so tenuous, like how it connected to like the gold shit.
I still couldn't tell you how that resolved, other than everyone just no, he was fine. Because the whole impetus for this is Nick Cage's great great grandpap was like, no, he turns out he actually wanted to help kill Lincoln. And Cage and John Voight are like, that's not true. And Ed Harris is like, that's totally true. And then that starts them off on this whole adventure of finding a city to clear his name for reasons. And then they find it and his name is cleared somehow.
Yeah, because he couldn't have been a party to Lincoln's assassination because he's too busy fucking around with this Incan gold or whatever.
Yeah, like those dots never connected. They went from A to B to W. And I got no idea how they got there.
Because you know what? This movie ended with a W because they won. And that's all that mattered.
God damn it.
They won, indeed. Fuck yes. Good night, everybody. No, I'm kidding.
I do think it's funny. You know, we'll just be all over the places tonight. So it's one of those, folks. Because in both movies, like the big ooky spooky hunk of gold that's just like, gets fallen in, but then like also we live in the modern day, so we'll just dig it back up. Yeah. So just like literally just scooping out the brains of Mount Rushmore. Here's this, I don't know, fucking Namor Aztec tomb in Washington head. Honestly, at a certain point, I expected it to just go really off the walls, like because Ed Harris is like secretly a part of this like clandestine Confederacy group, I guess. It's like my grandfather was John Wilkes Booth, and your grandfather was some dipshit, and
that's how he's actually credited in the movie. Some dipshit.
And then some shit happens, and then I try to kill you, and then I just for reason decide to be honorable and drown in this. Legend of the Hidden Temple set.
Yeah, like he was at no point did I know if he was supposed to be a bad guy or a bad guy with a heart of gold or like a good guy gone. But like with Sean Bean in the first one, like he wants the fucking money.
Yeah.
And I get that. Like I can follow that. Like he's not a bad dude. He just wants the fucking money. If you're in the way, oh well, he wants the fucking money. Ed Harris is like a dark, twisted version of what Nick Cage's character could be, but then also not really. But then also he dies, and the irony of Ed Harris dying in National Treasure 2 when Sean Bean lived in National Treasure 1 is hilarious to me. But like the first movie, there's no death. Nobody died in National Treasure 1. And there were like several shootings in this one. Like the flashbacks to Thomas Gates, he gets shot in the face. Lincoln gets shot in the face. Turns out this is a sidequel to Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh fuck!
The Lincoln verse.
I mean, if honestly, we uncovered a few stones of our own in this movie. Because turns out the Doug Dimmadome cinematic universe is not the only thread we've been pulling at in our journeys here. No, ma'am. There's yet one more character that we've uncovered in our journeys, and who's that, Shim?
Country music legend Randy Travis.
Forever and ever, amen.
Because he was in Baby Geniuses, he's in this movie, and is that it? Was that the only
Yeah,
two?
we never figured out what the third thing was. I'm going to go with, we talked about Hey Arnold that one time, and he voiced Mr. Wynn's singing voice.
Yeah, that is true.
I know when Meatloaf passed, I was looking for a copy of Black Dog everywhere. And he's in that too.
He is in that.
He's like, he got top billing in that movie, actually.
You know, he had like a hugely debilitating stroke a few years back, and he can barely talk now.
Yeah.
Wait, Randy Travis?
Yeah, he's on TikTok.
Of course.
He and his wife, like he seems to be doing well. He just mobility's not great.
Man, I'm glad you're doing well. I thought he was dead.
No. He's in fact, like
Rando Opry to TikTok.
he's actually got a tour going on where they got someone to like a country music star that I don't know who the fuck it is. I don't give a shit. But he's singing the songs with Randy Travis's band of like 20 years. And Randy Travis comes out and like waves like hi. He can't say hi, but he waves.
So just have a Randy Travis cover band with him there glad handing to the crowd.
Yes.
You know what? I'm glad he's out and about.
It's gonna be like fucking Morgan Wallen or some shit. God damn.
You know what? We have to steal Randy Travis because there's some sort of secret hidden in his butt crack. I don't know.
Also, I don't mean to go off track here, but am I remembering this correctly? Didn't at least one of like the bad guys, not the main one, obviously, but one of the baddies fell to their death in the first National Treasure?
Yeah, he fell down the super hole right
the
outside.
super hole.
Yeah.
I mean,
He might have lived.
There's a chance.
it's like George's Jungle. No one dies in this movie. They only get really big boo-boos.
That's the villain in the series that they're making.
Yeah.
National Treasure 3, Book of Sorrows.
They're doing a TV show.
yeah,
Yeah,
a movie and a show.
Wait, both? Really?
They're talking about the movie. They're definitely doing the show. And dude who plays Riley is going to be in the show.
Yep, and Riley, he's still the little engine that could. He's the comic relief, and he was looking pretty snazzy at the start of the movie.
Hell of a tweed suit that was.
Oh, yes.
And then because he's writing like do you know what? Probably like Jesse Ventura levels of like conspiratorial like subject matter.
Did you see Jesse Ventura on Jericho's podcast the other day?
I heard tell of that.
He went like into a 3-minute rant on why the January 6th guys were terrorists and how they should be ashamed. And Jericho says nothing. He just like, yep. And then just hard cut to a commercial. Not even that's great, Jesse, but let me talk to you about Omaha Steaks. No. Like fucking hard cut to a pre-recorded commercial by somebody else.
It's like,
Could we tell our listeners why that story's funny?
Because Chris Jericho's wife was at the rally on January 6th. So, I don't think Jesse knows that. Jesse doesn't get on the internet.
No, he doesn't trust the internet.
But he was like, "Oh, I would have shot the one with the Confederate flag." Is like he was, and Jericho's like, "Yeah, I get it.
That's interesting now.
Yeah, it was a great. If you can find that clip, find that clip.
I do think it's funny. We actually talked about this earlier that somehow in today's age, Jesse Ventura's conspiratorial ramblings is somehow the more tame and level-headed.
Yeah. I miss the days when conspiracy theories were fun, God damn it.
Yes, I almost, for the bit, bought a Jesse Ventura book at Goodwill. 63 documents the government doesn't want you to read.
Hey, that's going to be
National Treasure 3, 63 secrets the government doesn't want you to read.
Yeah, and it's hidden inside a secret bookcase in the children's section of the Library of Congress.
Written by Shane Black, and for some reason there's an awkward pussy joke in it 4 times. It doesn't land the first 3, but for some reason on the 4th take, it works.
You know what? You keep trying. and much like just the absurd ramblings of conspiratorial thought, and it's just like all the little clues that you come to expect in these type of movies. I feel like the first one they were definitely stretching the bounds of history. But I feel like with this one, I know there's like objective stuff that's just not true. Like, there's 3 resolute deaths and some other, I'm sure a mile long list of just like historical inaccuracies. But I feel like the mental gymnastics that happened in this movie, like gold medal at the Olympics, because like it's really just wow. They're just throwing any goddamn thing at the wall.
And just like to up, because like a movie like this, if you're making what is apparently just a simple cash grab, your goal is we got to make it bigger and bigger and bigger. So in the first was like, we got to steal the Declaration, and it's a whole big giant thing. It's almost impossible. They barely pull it off. Hey, we got the Declaration, and that's the big thing, right? In this one, these motherfuckers find a secret compartment in the Queen of England's desk, a secret compartment in the president's desk, then kidnap the president.
Soft kidnapped,
and then find
he was okay with it.
They borrowed the president.
They borrowed him for like 5 minutes. Then they find a secret book in the Library of Congress's secret section under a secret compartment.
It's a book of secrets, Jim.
Then they find a secret underground city of gold under Mount fucking Rushmore. Like what the fuck?
I mean, listen, this whole goddamn country is built on lies and bloodshed. Who's to say? And I did think it was kind of funny. The president, when Nick Cage was like trying to get the president on board, say, "Listen, man, if you do this, you'll be known as the president that gave the land and gold back to the Native Americans. The thing that we all stole from them forever." And he's like, "You know what? I could get in with that."
And then Riley's just shoving a brick in his backpack.
I was fully expecting him when he put that cinder block of gold in his like mountaineer's backpack, and then things started like Ron was like, "Oh fuck, I'm putting it back."
See, I thought like for sure that was going to be Ed Harris picked up a knife earlier in his Chekhov's gun, so he's got to use the knife, right? So what if he tries to stab somebody and Riley jumps in front and it bounces off the bag because the gold's in there? But no, it was just a gag.
I thought.
Well, yeah, it was a gag because Riley's he's a gag man. But he's also the hacker man.
Yeah. Oh God.
When they're in the fucking Buckingham Palace and he pulls out like 17 little computer shits like stuck to the wall, like he's like locked up in this shitter, and it's like the goddamn like Apollo 13.
It's like 4 iPods from 07, just like on the wall.
I mean, they really escalated the everything. It's like, Riley, he could hack into shit, but guess what? He's God tier hacker. And just like, I do think it's funny with a lot of the other shit. It's like, oh, we don't need this thing. We'll just take a picture of it and get it some other way. But they're like taking pictures on a goddamn Nokia flip phone, and you can just crystal clear, like, oh, I can decipher this fucking fuzzy ass photo with these like ancient.
Those are legit razors they were using,
like Pangean glyphs and like hieroglyphics, like him holding up that stick of wood to the fucking traffic cam, crystal as clean as day. They have a fucking Motorola like phone strapped to a styrofoam helicopter hovering around the proto Statue of Liberty, and just like CSI zoom.
Yeah. Like the best part is like the initial shot that you see on that screen is like a blurry ass fucking bell, and then they zoom in and like a 4K shot of words. Just
Riley invented 4K for this mission.
Like you can pull that shit off now with but then no.
But plus, I feel like there probably would have been the easier way to figure out what that fucking statue said.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it would have been known if there was like scribblings on Statue of Liberty Part 1.
You could have like paid another kid to like count the letters or something.
I think a telescope would have saved a lot of trouble on that one.
Yeah, and it might have been less conspicuous than like a hovercraft like flying up around.
It's like
Statue of Liberty.
2 bicycle cops roll up and you're just like, what are you doing with your toy next to our Statue of Liberty? Every town has a Statue of Liberty. Everyone knows that. We have 2 of them. One of them looks like Nick Saban for some reason. Not Chris Saban. That's a completely different person.
In our Statue of Liberty, it fucking twerked. And I'm sure what else happened.
It's like
I'm thinking.
Well, that's like that, like you're saying, like this is supposed to be built on the popularity of the first one. Like you said, it's supposed to be bigger, longer, and uncut, if you will.
I mean, it was uncut because I'm not sure anything was edited out of this movie.
It really didn't feel bigger in scale to me than the first one.
No,
like it really didn't. Like what do you have? You have like another underground scenario. It's another underground pit you have to get to, and then you had the wibbly wobbly. Like the shit that they like. Wait, didn't Crystal Skull come out before this? They had a wibbly wobbly.
Because like 2000, no, this was 2007.
I've tried to block out.
It might have been the same year, maybe. I don't know.
I thought Crystal Skull was like 2009, 2012.
I don't remember. But
I mean, I get what you're saying because this feels like it's 3 jokes away from being one of those scary movie guy parodies.
I mean,
like epic movie and shit. Like this feels like that.
I feel like I would have rated it higher if you would have slapped that tag on it.
Crystal Skull was the following year, 2008.
Oh, yep. They regurgitated the wibbly wobbly. Part time.
Well, this whole movie felt like it was just regurgitated plot beat by beat from the first one.
They just added like different sets.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry.
Because Nicolas Cage and Riley have a big thing they got to do to make Nicolas Cage's family not look crazy and or terrible. Their dad gets roped in, and then they find Diane Kruger, who doesn't like Nick Cage at first, but then likes him again. And then they have a bad guy who wants the treasure also, and they find the thing with the bad guy after perilous stuff and ridiculous go-arounds like kidnapping a document / the president, and they find the thing and everything's fine, and Harvey Keitel is there
again.
Like that I just described both fucking movies. Except you added Helen Mirren to this one.
Yep, Helen Mirren as Mama Cage.
Yes,
and
John Voight's back for another looking lost in every scene.
Like the most unbelievable part is John Voight leaping from rock to rock and then going through a fucking cave.
You can barely put one foot in front of the other. I do think it's funny that because like this is the heightened reality that this movie exists in, that Nicolas Cage is just like this fucking absurdly erudite scholar, and his pappy was a crazy stupid scholar of just like insane like specificity and range and his depth of field, and his mama was also the same sort of just like an outrageous scholar, and just like everybody superpowers. This is and that fucking little twat on the White House lawn that just like randomly starts harassing Nicolas Cage, like, oh, aren't you the fuckers whose granddad killed President Lincoln, and it just gets into an argument with this child.
No.
And it's just like, fuck off, nerd.
Like, my dad said your dad fucking sucks.
Like, if you told me that Nicolas Cage had an uncle that was an expert on French plays from the years of 1793 to 1795, I'd believe it. Because of how ridiculously, stupidly specific all of these people are.
You know what? I hope National Treasure 3 it's just a family reunion of these fuckheads. And every single person from like the grandpappy to like the fucking baby in the womb is somehow like a scholar of stupid specificity, and like little baby Clarabelle Laramie, she's 5 years old, but she's already in Harvard or some horse shit.
It's like, why we named our daughter after an ice cream flavor. That just sounded like it.
Hey, you leave a little Napolitan after this.
The whole reunion's like, hey, little Nicky, do you want to hear which one of Socrates' nuts hung lower? Because I know that.
Yeah, because we can go, because do they have like little Tomb Raider obstacle courses for the kids?
It just looks like Legend of the Hidden Temple.
That's what this fucking movie was after a certain point. Because I'm just like, when did the fucking ancient Aztecs come on and all this? I don't know. And then when Ed Harris pulls the jade knife out of the guts of just fucking mummy, I was like, you know what? If a fucking Aztec mummy just starts sitting his jolly ass up and terrorizing these folks, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'd have added a star.
Yeah.
Like, this movie really was like just one secret lever away from becoming the Mummy.
We should have watched The Mummy instead.
I should have watched The Mask of Zorro again.
Yeah, the Mask of Zorro is fantastic.
Go back and check out last week's episode. Honestly, I thought Ed Harris was gonna like really lean into like his like weird Confederate like history, and then like he goes full tilt evil, like starts bumbling around in this like secret tomb, and then like somehow, some way, he becomes the final boss, and like the fucking giant mechanical spider from Wild Wild West rises up out of the mud, and it's like, oh, you can't stop me now, boy. I'm taking this here United States back. And then Cage is like, oh, guess what, bitch? Click, hits the secret button, and the fucking old mech temple rises out of the ground, and just like a fucking kaiju fight with these like giant ancient super weapons.
I'd watch that movie.
Pat, you just described a 3-star movie to me. I would have bumped mine up to at least a 3.
And
To
then,
be fair, Kenneth Branagh's Southern accent in Wild Wild West is markedly better than Ed Harris's in this
Ed
movie.
Harris was just talking.
Yeah, I just like thought it was just I was hearing him from The Rock.
He was just dropping G's off a certain word, and it's not like, oh, it's Foghorn Leghorn.
I mean, every time he shouted, that was just Ed Harris. That was just his voice.
You know what? And then, as they're fighting, the fucking Mount Rushmore starts to jiggle and shake, and fucking the heads pop out of the fucking mountain, and guess what? Their bodies is fucking King Ghidorah, but with the fucking president's heads, and it's just like shooting lightning.
So President Ghidorah?
President Ghidorah.
What you're describing is so much better than what we just watched.
Oh, God. And it could have got much worse. Listen to this bullfuckery.
Okay.
On the DVD, the director, John Turtletaub, or however the fuck you say it.
Turtle Tab, I think.
Turtle Talbot.
Turtle power.
Turtle Power.
Turtle Tab.
Johnny Boy says the initial rough cut was around 4 hours long.
What? Fuck you.
Imagine that.
Wow, that's just like the psycho. It's just like, guess what? There's actually a secret 4-hour cut of the Elvis movie.
There's a reason why it's called Book of Secrets. No one fucking cares.
Yeah,
Okay.
Keep those other 2 hours locked away in your little shadow book of
Like-
spells and sorcery.
We paused it for a bathroom break when they got into the underneath fucking Mount Rushmore. And there were still 30 goddamn minutes left.
Yes.
And it felt like it had been the 3 days we've been watching this shit.
We definitely took a lot of intentional and unintentional breaks throughout the course of this movie.
Just like, I gotta take a minute.
like
Oh my
that
God.
definitely like added to like the long run time of the movie.
I don't know. Those breaks were my favorite parts. I just sit there for a minute.
I love how Bruce Greenwood plays the president in this movie.
I do love him.
Yes.
I kept thinking that was. He looked familiar. It was like my first thought was that's not the guy from NCIS. That's not Gibbs.
That's not. Yeah. No, that's not.
That's
it.
CSI.
Yeah.
Oh wait, NCIS. You know what? They're the same show.
My mother would beg to fucking differ.
Bruce Greenwood did the voice for Batman in some of the animated Justice League movies.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
He was
shit.
very good.
I love how he's just credited as the president in this.
The president, sir.
Fucking star of Modern Family, Ty Burrell is in this movie.
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
a fucking sap.
And former Leonard Sampson, a.k.a. Doc Samson from the first Hulk movie with Eric Bana.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also that raging dickhead in Zack Snyder's remake of Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, that's fair.
The guy with the boat.
Yeah.
It's been years since I've seen
Oh,
it.
that movie's fucking great. Man, I saw that shit in theaters. I'm old. John Voight looking like a zombie in this picture right here.
It's like, who looked younger, John Voight or the fucking mummy that he pulled a knife out of?
I thought that was John Voight had the knife.
It's like, whoa, what happened?
That's my bad.
And like poor Riley at this point, he's written a book and like none of his friends have read it. He's even sent them copies. They're still in the envelope. Poor fella.
But hey, he gets his car back.
He got his car. Oh yeah, he's fucking broke as shit. You want to know what the taxes are on $5 million? $6 million. I'm just like, even I am a dumb fuck in fucking. I'm like, I don't even think that's how that works.
I just think you were just unwise with your enormous amounts of ancient gold that you acquired.
He used the same accountant from Rocky V when he ended up broke and had to fight Tommy Gunn in the streets.
Yeah,
Like
he had
an
to fight the
asshole.
robot.
I mean, he did bring that up. Like he set up a fake company and went to an island that didn't exist or whatever.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't try to set up your Swiss bank account through a Nigerian prince over an email. Just saying.
Also, like and from the last movie, he only got what was it like 1%,
Yeah.
or was it even that
I think
5% or something?
I think it's. Yeah, I think it might have been 1% because I think they offered him 10.
But
all
then
he had was that card he jumped in.
well, yeah, but then like they found like a half of all gold on the planet Earth, so just like 1% of like umpteen $1 billion is just like still a chunk of change.
It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in my back pocket.
It belongs in an Uncharted sequel. I don't.
Nicolas Cage versus Tom Holland.
Man, Tom Holland, fuck him. I love you, Nick, but Tom Holland will just he does flips and shit.
Yeah,
Well, he is Spider-Man.
He is Spider-Man.
I mean,
Spider-Man versus Ghost Rider.
but he has to paint his face like he did for fucking 2.
With the LEDs and the jacket collar.
God, none of that was necessary. None of that was required
Hey,
for
that's
the role,
method,
right?
buddy boy.
Right?
That's Nouveau Shaman acting for you.
Yeah.
Man, that's neon dick veins on a Superman costume. That's what that is, okay?
Hey, every superhero deserves to be too messed in. What are you talking about? Hey, the next time you see Spidey, he's just going to be throbbing, just like he was like pumping veins.
How about the I was about to say the Disney Channel. How about
Disney Channel original movie, Lucky the Irish.
We fucking referenced that movie before the fucking show, Jesus. But how can Disney recreating the Lincoln assassination?
I'm telling you, it's a sidequel to Lincoln starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
I mean, and much like the first one, starts off with a flashback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure does.
You know, I just went like full tilt crazy, and since they're already playing fast and loose with Tiffany, they just go like full Inglorious Bastard. So when John Book fucking plugs Lincoln, he just like, dude, just like, turns him into like a hamburger meat like they did with Hitler and then Inglorious Bastards.
Swiss fucking cheese.
What if they go full like Inglourious Basterds / Indiana Jones? Lincoln survives, beat John Wilkes Booth to death with his bare hands, faked his death, and now he's guarding the City of Gold, waiting for someone new to come in and relieve him.
Yeah, you know that giant adamantium tortoise with the Declaration of Independence back. That's actually Lincoln.
Yep.
Plot twist: he takes the helmet off, and then like the hat just springs up, and it's Lincoln.
It's like,
And then they try to take some treasure out, but they're like, no, you can't cross the threshold. And then it just cracks open, and Nicolas Cage's like, I can reach it, Dad. And then Diane Kruger falls and dies for some reason because, she's blonde and German, so she's got to be a Nazi.
Yeah.
And then John Boy's like, Nicolas Cage or Ben Gates or whatever you want to call him, let it go. And then they get sued.
And he'd just be like, he chose poorly.
well, they can't get sued because Disney owns the rights to that song, right? Let It Go.
Oh, no, they get sued for yes. And then it turns out Diane Kruger was Elsa and she just freezes all the water. Everything's fine.
Don't give fucking Disney more ideas for live action remakes. Shut up, Jimmy. Jesus.
Yeah, and I'm not going to like the fact that a Nazi woman has the same name as their ice princess.
Yep.
They will do that. There's someone at Disney's going to hear that and be like, wait a minute, that's genius
You know
fucking
that
casting.
There have actually been rumors for years that Diane Kruger is a terrible, terrible racist.
Well,
She's
the only
also
way to
married
find-
to Norman Reedus.
Stinky.
Uh-oh.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
They're married?
Well, they're together. They might not be like legally married, but yeah, they've been together for long enough.
They're-
I don't know why I thought you said married.
You think there might be Stippen?
Wait a minute. So it's like she's been in a couple of movies with Ghost Rider and now might be a Ghost Rider?
Hey, everybody knows Ryan Gosling wants to be his Ghost Rider.
I'd be much happier with that than Norman Reedus.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying he couldn't do it.
Hey, look, there's plenty of Ghost Riders.
this is
no
true.
one's knows.
I mean, we all know the one I want to pop
Yep.
up.
Norman Reedus and Diane Kruger have been together since 2016.
Congratulations.
And they have a child.
No!
Yeah.
Babies! Ew!
Yeah.
Gross.
I mean, look, a lot of our favorite people have babies. We can't judge them for that.
I'm sorry.
Who?
John Moxley.
Well, that's true. He does have a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your kid's okay, Mox.
I mean, if you look at the picture of his baby, you can tell that's his kid.
I'm sorry. That fucking clip of him like showing up during that like WWE like podcast thing that Renee was doing with the dog is still one of the top 10 funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
That was pretty funny.
I got him. And people are like, why is this funny? I'm like, you don't get it.
You weren't there, man. You understand.
You weren't there. Oh, man. You know what's weird? I had a fucking stupid point to make about this movie, and I lost it talking about John Moxley's dog.
It's all right. This whole movie was a stupid point.
Also, bring back Gabriel Luna as the other Ghost Rider.
All right.
He was solid.
I did have a question I'd like to ask y'all.
Okay.
If y'all were in the chairs for a National Treasure 3, what would be the big thing you got to do? Like Declaration of Independence, kidnap the president. What would you do for the third?
Irreplaceable object of history would be the MacGuffin.
Yes.
Well, if I were making a legitimate film, I would try to do something smaller and make it more about the history.
Wrong answer.
More like a personal movie. Now, if I'm making it bigger, it turns out the founding fathers left a clue to the lost city of Atlantis, and that clue starts on the moon.
Ooh.
So Nick Cage has to go to the moon to find the clue to get to Atlantis.
And he steals the flag off the top of the...
Exactly.
I thought he had to steal the moon.
It was sewn into the flag used for the Apollo landing. He has to steal the flag to go to Atlantis. And also, he has to steal the bells out of Big Ben because it was part of it also. But that leads up to the moon thing.
Also, I would just love... It's like, Riley, we got to go to the moon. He's just like...
So National Treasure 3, Big Ben's bells. I like it, though. The moon, it has everything a growing boy needs.
Yeah.
Moon and bells.
Where else do you go? You've stolen the Declaration. You've kidnapped the president. You've got to find Atlantis, and the clues are on the moon.
Yep. And it also Atlantis is somehow an Aztec empire, and Tenoch Huerta is in there with his booty shorts.
And
Yes. Also, it's in the middle of Lake Michigan.
Like under?
Yes, somehow.
We got to have it be America.
It's like, you know what? Atlantis is kind of small.
This is America, goddammit. We have everything.
Like somehow under Atlantis, it's dry, and there's an oil fire with more gold.
Yep. That's you've got to have like a line of just a trench of oil to light the way.
Yeah, everybody knows oil doesn't evaporate or disappear after 500 years.
No, not at all. It's not coated with dust or anything.
Yeah, it is eternally slick.
Yep. But that's what you do it.
Oh, what about you, Pat? You got any ideas there?
Oh, let's say they gotta find George Washington's Little Black Book, and there's a hidden locker combination and Martha Washington's underwear.
I like it.
Oh, but better yet, okay, Martha Washington. Turns out George Washington was sleeping around with Betsy Ross, and he stitched in some secret love child information on the very first American flag, which is actually the one on the moon.
Nice. And the whole time through all of this movie, we have to keep up the tradition of never once mentioning the fact that slaves existed and built all of this shit that they're going through.
Yeah, there's definitely not any slavery. There's definitely not any misuse of the indigenous peoples.
Nope.
There's definitely not any misuse of power or resources in American history.
No, this is just the American dream and the goal that it leads us to.
Which is probably what the real National Treasure 3 about. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, there's some icky stuff in America's history. So like we're gonna playfully acknowledge that, but then like not dig too deep into it. We still want to have a good time.
Yeah, it was like, yes, we all know what happened. There were slaves. It's fine. Anyway, we're talking about the treasure.
It's the treasure. Oh, but we got to say upriver in the movie too.
Upriver.
Oh, man.
Upriver.
He'd be like, "Oh, it was great. It was fucking."
We got to use a lot of bits.
It was a good time.
Man, I would.
It wasn't a good time. The bits were a good time. The movie's not a good time.
Yeah, it's not fun. I want to get a little weird here. All right, let's get a little weird.
Just
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
What is your favorite?
I think it's weird for even these movies.
Oh, good.
Yeah, everybody go around and say their favorite Disney Channel original movie. I'll go first. The 13th Year.
What was that one that had the pumpkins on the tree and they had to find like Day of the Dead or some such?
Halloween Town?
I don't think that's a Disney Channel movie. But Halloween Town is okay. Take it back. Halloween Town. That's fucking sick.
Smart House.
Oh, bitch, Smart House.
So what's your weird thing?
All right. I mean, granted, it's like all around the room weird things, but my weird thing is we are going to get super weird. I'm talking fucking time travel and portals.
Oh my god.
We are going. They are looking for the lost aircraft of Amelia Earhart because they got a lead on it, but
Hey.
somehow on their way to find it, smack through the Bermuda Triangle, it is also a portal, and then they're like in this fucking utopia, and she's the mayor of Utopia Town.
You know-
They're like, Amelia Earhart, you haven't aged a day. It was like, yeah, we figured shit out here.
Yeah.
Declaration of Independence. Oh yeah, that's printed on our toilet paper.
Yeah, it turns they go back in time and somehow Nicolas Cage has to write the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah,
But he puts in a little secret flat when he like yanked like a little ribbon on it, and it says, "Hey, listen, you dumb fucks! In 2022, this is a piece of paper. Stop listening to fucking dead people."
Speaking
Which was the whole point. It's them to say the Declaration, that then the Constitution was a living document.
yes, ever evolving, ever changing. You know, because you know what? Some things need to be updated every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
The Halloween tree is what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's not a Disney
I've
movie.
never heard of that.
Yeah, that was a Cartoon Network joint.
I'm trying to think of all the original. Wow, I've never seen that.
Yeah, it was
All-
messed up.
Original Disney Channel movies. What's the gag? They did one where they swapped. The actress from Knocked Up, and I think she was in Grey's Anatomy too. What was her name?
Katherine Heigl.
Katherine Heigl. Yes, it was her and somebody else. I remember that one. Smart House, Luck of the Irish. I know I've seen 1,000 of them. Halloween Town, probably all of them.
The Xenon, the girl of the 21st century, 31st century.
I remember hearing that one. The Even Stevens movie. Oh my
I
god!
was thinking about that today.
Oh my god! Speaking of death and destruction, how come when they were like, it would have been great if they were like digging up the treasure, and they're just like, oh, well, here's Mitch, Ed Harrison, just pick him up with a crane, just flick him away.
And it's all like just water is pouring out of his dead mouth.
Also, I thought his whole goal was to be the sole person to discover the gold, and then I guess because he's dead,
He gets like a posthumous credit.
it's like all of y'all found it, and I remembered I thought he was going to give like full credit to him, but it was like and Mitch, sir, and it was like, well, damn, he wanted it all. You wouldn't even let him have it all, even when he's dead. You gonna lie to his face? I mean, he was kind of an asshole. He kind of deserved it. So
Yeah, that Confederate fuck. Never heard of him. He died. He got stepped on by a bird.
So it turns out I never saw any Disney original movies.
Really?
Yeah. Like I heard of the Cheetah Girls,
Yep.
but I never saw any of those.
Well, good news. Now that we have Disney Plus, you can go back and watch all those Disney Channel original movies.
I think I'm good.
It's fair. I haven't seen any Cartoon Network original movies by my.
I've watched
Knowledge, I
all the
suppose.
Cartoon Network shows. I was a Cartoon Network kid. And Nickelodeon.
I was more in. Well, not more into. It's like I don't know. I was like in like the Nickelodeon and Disney Channel. I'd watch Cartoon Network, but mostly like when they would play like the Super Friends, like all the old cartoons and shit. I don't know why.
Oh, those were fun.
Fucking-
Herculoids.
Flintstones. Bullshit.
Thundar the Barbarian.
Thundar. Fuck off. No way.
Oh, that was my jam.
Yeah, I love how in those old cartoons, like, it was just like one person that was actually in any competency, and then like 17 hilarious sidekicks,
Like the weird space rhinos that shot fireballs out of their snout horns.
and the two blobs, and
Glorp and Gleep.
Yeah, and the rest.
Audience, if you could see my face right now.
Like Hungo and Sleeslar, and who forget the adorable Glarpy.
Are y'all fucking with me right now?
You know what? Those are
Glorp and Gleep, I was not fucking with.
Okay.
The rest of that, yeah, that was
Hey, look, those are like AI generated Hanna-Barbera caveman names.
Do you know the Thing from the Fantastic Four had his own Hanna-Barbera show?
Just the thing.
Yeah, just the Thing, but like it wasn't even Ben Grimm. It was some kid who could turn into the Thing when he put his rings together and he's like, "Thing ring, do your thing," and he would like put the rings together. And he became the Thing. It was terrible.
like let's get rock hard.
And that was at the same fucking time as the Fantastic Four had their own show, which was the first time I ever saw Magneto. He was in an episode and he was beaten. Just enjoy this shit, right? He was beaten because Reed Richards showed up with a gun, like a space gun. And Magneto's like, "Oh, I can't control your gun. What have you done to my powers? Without my powers, I am nothing." And Reed's like, "That's right, Magneto. And now you'll pay for your crimes." And the police show up and like start carting him away, right? He's in handcuffs in his full fucking Magneto outfit. And Magneto's like, "I have to know, how did you take away my power?" And he was like, "I didn't, Magneto. I tricked you. This gun is made of wood." And Magneto's like, "A gun, wooden gun. He beat me with a wooden gun." Now, while he's being taken away in handcuffs in a fucking police car, he's like, "A wooden gun." He's just so embarrassed that he's like, "Yeah, you win." Because like at no point did his powers go away. He still has the fucking powers. And he's like, I made him look stupid. That's why he's going to jail.
But that's probably just the excuse for like, hey, we have a nickel to animate a 22-minute show. They're not doing jack shit.
I will find this clip and show you guys when we're done. Because that was the voice. He beat me with a wooden gun.
Somehow he was just dying of emphysema.
And that was the first time I ever saw Magneto.
And the rest is history.
That was made for kids back then, and kids were just dumber back then.
Right. That's why they replaced the Human Torch with Herbie, because they thought kids would light themselves on fire.
That's true.
I mean, then fast forward a few years, they changed Bruce Banner to, what was it, Eric Banner or something?
David
Banner, because they thought Bruce Banner sounded too gay.
Yep.
Like, what's wrong with you people? Like, that's his fucking name.
And like the last David Banner, like the last Hulk movie they did, the Lou Ferrigno stuff, was the death of the Incredible Hulk, and he died. He dies in the end because they were gonna bring him back, like the return of the Incredible. Nope, he's just dead. It's like how the last episode of Alf ended with him being captured by the government, and we're done.
Whoa, spoilers, man! Jesus.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, we're just. Turns out the real subtitle is National Treasure: Book of Spoilers.
I was like, please, like National Treasure 2: Book of Secrets. Quote spoilers for Alf. I used to watch Alf.
I actually got an Alf #1 comic book in the shop yesterday.
They made a book out of it?
Just a couple days before.
Yeah, and Alf showed up at E3 like a year or two ago.
They're making an Alf action figure this year. Emilio's getting one.
I think I saw it. Isn't it like fucking huge?
Yeah, no, it's enormous.
It's kind of like how when the Alf would like be out and away from like his family and like not being a puppet. It's not like they would just use like the appropriate Alf size puppet. They just had someone in a giant size, human size Alf suit like skitter around. It was like disturbing.
Yep.
Let's just make a comic book out of that giant zombie caterpillar from the new Resident Evil show.
Yep.
I hear bad things about that show.
What do you mean? IGN gave it a 9 out of 10.
I'm sure they got paid for that score very handsomely.
Man, I'm
Hey, look, Lance
curious.
Riddick is
That's it.
a treasure. He is a national treasure.
Like, I'm even curious about that fucking movie that they put out. What was it, last year?
Welcome to Raccoon City.
Yeah.
Like, I heard it was dog shit, but you know me,
But
just
somehow this
watch
show is worse
things.
than that.
I don't know.
Bring back Mila Jovovich.
I actually liked that first Mila Jovovich one. It was pretty good.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the second one.
No, third one was good too, like the Vegas one. I like that one.
Yeah, stay tuned for the Resident Evil files.
And plus, you throw Mike
Couple of them were
Epps.
good. Rest were terrible.
You put Mike Epps in just about anything, I'm down. That dude's
Sure.
funny.
He is funny. I do like Mike Epps.
All About the Benjamins. Y'all watch that. Don't watch National Treasure 2. You can't find All About the Benjamins on Disney Plus. However, look it up.
Are we done yet?
We've actually almost done an hour.
I think we're good, yeah. So, basically, what we're saying is Alf doesn't make it.
God.
Hey, fucking guy. I hate that little dick-nosed twat.
Oh, God. Yeah, so we're good. Don't watch National Treasure 2. Watch anything else. Thank you all for listening. Cannon.
Not anything else.
Oh, fuck, I'm watching National Treasure 2.
So, Cannon, where can the people find you on the interwebs?
Well, the people can find me at That Cannon Guy on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Goodreads, and TikTok.
Light Bright. Follow Cannon on Light Bright.
Fuck off. It's been a long day.
Find me on MySpace at that Cannon.
You know what? Man, me.
Follow me out the door as I leave this shit show.
Follow me as I stand up because my ass hurts.
Pat.
It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. And this has been a pleasure for the audience. I hope so. So be sure to follow Pat wherever I'm found on the internet. Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd. It's all John lost his name. Also, be so kind to go check out the AYC8 side of thing. We just released episode 272 back on Monday of this week. That's the 18th. And we had a grand old time because myself, Colt Winslow, we talked about two of the hottest new horror movies currently on streaming. That's Mad God, a stop-motion animation horror movie 15 years in the making. Follow that up with Incantation, a brand new Taiwanese found footage horror film currently streaming on Netflix. And we had a great time with both of those, and we talk about those in detail. So please go check out the episode. It's a lot of fun.
And you can find me at Captain Shimmy's Kind of Art, Captain Shimmy's Almost Music, Captain Shimmy's Toy Box. You can also listen to my intermittent podcast as Captain Shimmy's Effed Up Head, where you can enjoy me slowly slipping into madness. It's a good time. I mean, not really. It's terrible, but you might like it.
Throw in a little bit of multiverse.
Right, little multiverse.
And you can also listen to me slowly slink into a bottle of rum.
Check out our merch store at tpublic.com/user/caging greatness. And we'll see you next week for what we currently have planned, because past several weeks, every time we say we'll see you next week for blah, stuff gets changed. That's just the nature of the beast.
Maybe that's what sets it all wrong. We just don't announce what we're doing, and maybe it'll stay place.
Maybe so. So yeah, join us next week for something.
I mean, we may not come back after Wednesday. We might take our rightful place in the Dark Order. We
might-
are members.
Yeah, no, I mean, join Dark Order.
We need to restock, and they've already lost a couple hands.
Oh, yeah. No,
Hey, look, I got 2 hands right here, buddy.
I can be the new Alan Angels or Stu Grayson. I can do it.
Oh, excuse me, a ginger can replace a ginger now. You can be Stu Dose.
Thanks.
Of course, it'll be the next one, so it'll be Stu Trace.
Right, Stu Trace. I like it. Anyway, thank you all for listening for whatever reason you chose to listen. And we will see you next week for maybe the impression game, maybe something completely different. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, also, if you want to listen to more National Treasure or actually talk about the show, there's a National Treasure podcast.
Holy
Go
shit,
listen to
there
them.
is.
Yeah, no, they're
A whole show about 2 movies. It's pretty impressive.
we're friendly with them, right? We like
Yeah,
we talk.
we like their stuff.
Not after this
We're
episode,
mutual just about every. We're mutual with about every Cage podcast out there. So go check them out.
Yeah, ask
Hell
them
yeah.
what they think about the on the moon idea that we came up with.
You know what? Brilliant.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Goodbye.
How absurd.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
How absurd.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.